Thank you very much for joining us here on TRT World. Now, tell me, to what extent do you think people within Myanmar have heeded to calls of revolt?
As you see the situation in Burma from the February 2021, the military, the killing spree, the brutality, deploying snipers against the protesters and killing more than 1,200 people so far. This brutality has some cause. The people is now revolting against that brutality. The military has played all the tactics, to control the public, to continue and to establish their coup, so they are not successful so far. And all the system in Burma is falling apart. Education, healthcare, banking, every system is now falling apart. And the situation is humanitarian catastrophe is day by day increasing in every part of Burma. So we are pleading to international community while they just watching Burma what's happening. They have some duty that the humanitarian support to the people of Burma who are suffering now. And I think that the people yesterday, the announcement of the president, people are responding. People are responding with the because you see there are ethnic arms group across Burma. There are several ethnic arms group control their location, their areas. They all joining, to fighting against and united against the military coup.
Right now, Kyaw, it's been about 8 months since Myanmar has been engulfed in an ever-deepening political and economic crisis. Now, some factions, political factions within the country have called for a revolt against the military. So tell me, are there still any chances for a political settlement?
We have been, if you look at the 2010 agreement, the military and the democratic parties have, brokered by the international community and agreed to, rule the country side by side. And that has failed on 2021 February when the military took the power. Military overthrown a democratically elected government. So that is everything, account to all the military side. What they have, actually the General Meng Aung who committed genocide against the Rohingya people, according to the UN. He seems to be, he doesn't want to retire according to the military rule. He has to retire this year, and the government that elected is not renewing his terms. So that is a problem for him. He seems that he's going to be, sent to the Hague by anyone. So he doesn't want it to happen. So he threw the whole country into the fire of civil war.
Right now, Kyaw, before I let you go, just very quickly, do you think it's likely for the international community to support calls for revolt against the military in Myanmar?
So the first of all, international community has failed the people of Burma. This 8-9 months, nothing could significantly happen to prevent that killing of the people. That is one of the very big shame on international community that has failed all people of Burma. And the second thing is now that humanitarian catastrophe is usually happening across Burma. The international community must, on humanitarian ground, they must do something immediately before it become another, a disaster, and the disaster take over a whole country. And the third thing is, you see that the people are rising against that military, brutality. So people have right to defend themselves. And however, we want as a human rights activist, we want to avoid the bloodshed. So there must be some important steps can be done within UN framework in coming months, in coming weeks. At UN Credential Committee must support and recognize the people, and NUG government that is elected by the people of Burma.
Right. Kyaw, the situation in Myanmar appears to be dire, to say the least. So we here at TRT World will continue to closely follow this story.